Okay, boys, we are looking at simple cubic equations today. This is the second time I've made this video because the first one didn't save for some reason. Okay, so a cubic equation is an equation where the highest power of the polynomial is 3. So you can see here in this equation, highest power is 3. In this equation here, highest power of the polynomial is 3. In this equation here, highest power is 3. And in this equation here, highest power is 3. So anytime you've got a highest power of 3, it's a cubic equation. Now, let's do this one together. So let's write the question down. Change colors. Okay, now we're going to cube root both sides to get rid of that power of 3. Now, we write it down. It's like a square root with a little 3 there. And when you do the cube root symbol, do not do this. It's not a big 3. It's a little 3, okay? Now, the cube root symbol cancels out the power of 3. So you're just left with n equals. Now you need your calculator for this. And you need to use your cube root button. Okay, so shift cube root 729 equals. And you're going to get 9 for that. Okay, so 9. Let's just check that the video is still working. Yes, it is. All right, so now I want you to do the hashtag question. Okay, so start off with x cubed equals 64. And let's do the cube root. Both sides. Okay, and that's going to give you x is equal to, now on your calculator, let's do it. It's going to be shift cube root 64, which is 4. Okay, so let's write down 4. Now, some of you are probably thinking, what about the plus or minus? Now, if you're solving a quadratic equation like this, when you do the square root, you do have to do the plus or minus. So you get x equals plus or minus 5. But with cube root equations, there's only one solution. There's not a plus and a minus. There's just one number. Okay, so don't do the plus or minus. All right. Now, let's have a look at the next one. D cubed equals 40. All right, so for our solution, all right, we have D cubed equals 40. And we are going to cube root both sides like before. Get the calculator out. And use the cube root button. So shift cube root 40 equals, and that's 3.4. And we're going to use the approximation symbol because we rounded the answer. Now, you're going to do the hashtag question by yourself. Okay, so we've got p cubed equals 12. We are going to cube root both sides. And p equals. Now, cube root of 12. Let's put it into your calculator. Shift cube root 12 equals 2.3. So 2.3 is your answer. Okay. 2.3. All right, so let's have a look at the next one. All right, so we've got minus 3y cubed equals 1,029. Now I'm going to get rid of the negative 3 term by dividing by negative 3, just like you would in a normal equation. So the negative 3's go, and that gives me y cubed equals, and then work out what 1,029 divided by negative 3 is. You should get negative 343. And then we're going to cube root both sides. Cube root there. Cube root there. Okay. Now, on your calculator, you're going to put in the following. You're going to put in shift cube root negative 343 and it equals, and you get negative 7. Now, you can't find the square root of a negative number, but you can find the cube root of a negative number. Okay? And that makes sense because there is a number, when you think about it, there is a number that you can multiply 3 times to get a negative, isn't there? Okay, so if I did negative 7 times negative 7 times negative 7, I get negative 343. So you can find the cube root of a negative. Now, you're going to do the hashtag question. So we have 2h cubed equals negative 18. And then divide by 2. Divide by 2. That cancels. And you're left with h squared equals negative 9. Let's just create a bit of room down here. Let's get rid of this part. Okay, so, by the way, not squared, is it? It should be cubed. So we'll just get rid of that. That should be power of 3. Okay, so cube there. Now we're going to cube root both sides. Remember, you're not doing plus or minus, you're just doing the cube root. And then you're going to get your calculator out. H equals, and what do we got? Negative 9. So shift cube root negative 9 equals negative 2.1 to 1 decimal place. Okay, so we're going to write that down. Make sure you put the approximation symbols because you're rounding. Now, just for the last one, when it says exact solution, it means to use the third answer. So when I solve this, I'm going to cube root both sides. Right. Now, if you put this into your calculator, so let's try that now, it's going to get a nasty decimal. Shift cube root 17. Right, we don't want to write the rounded answer, we want the exact answer. And that means you've got to leave it as a cube root. So your exact answer in this case is cube root of 17. So you could call this your exact answer. Or you could call it your third answer. Either one. Okay, that'll do for today.